What is up, guys? So today we are looking at the most underrated champions for each role that are doing better now in 6.7. This is another video with the folks over at Pro Guides. You can check the guides and Genius link down below. Like this video if you did, dislike it if you didn't, and let me know if these surprised you or who your underrated picks are. So we're going to start with AD Carry. It's not just my usual bias, actually kind of is, but I've been playing a lot of Varus recently and I love him. He has kind of moved into more of a mid lane role, right, the past few seasons, but I've been playing him bot lane and he's still pretty strong. We're playing a pretty similar style to mid actually, a lot like Jhin really. This is why I wanted to try it out again. Part of why Jhin is so strong right now is because he can output a ton of damage from range with his abilities and deathfire damage, and his autos still hurt too. In lane, Varus is a similar concept, low mobility, high poke damage, and plays like him, but Jhin just has a little bit more damage packed into his kit right now. Build stuff is important because there is loads of different options. I've tried both the Essence Reaver crit build and the Man Immune poke build like a mid laner, and they're both good. Both can work, but I found more success being the poke machine. Deathfire Keystone means our abilities hurt more. We still have good auto attack damage with that build anyway, and our range especially makes us very difficult to deal with in lane. This part is going to sound really odd, okay, but when researching the picks for this video, I found that in Korea people are using this build a lot. It is really weird actually, but because of the way our abilities scale and especially our blight stacks, we actually benefit from basically everything that Ginsu's offers. Combine that with our passive for the burst of attack speed to stack it faster in the first place, and actually this gives us good ability damage and a lot of AoE damage in a team fight. Whichever build you're actually going to end up trying, your range and blight stacks provide a great lane phase and a lot of kill potential with your ultimate. So let's go to the mid lane. Cho'Gath is one pick that used to be around a lot, but recently we haven't really seen him at all. This pick has a pretty decent win rate in every region actually, and while he may not be like the absolute top tier of mid lane, I guess he's not god tier or anything, he is still a very strong pocket pick. You're going to use this guy to dominate lane, really heavy pushing with your passive AoE autos, good sustain naturally, good poke, and a ton of crowd control combined with burst. That's basically a bit of everything really. The only thing he's missing is mobility, which is really the main reason I think some people struggle and he's not picked more. One thing that actually makes him very annoying is, I don't know if this is intended or not, but normally always when somebody flashes your W silence, if you've already begun the cast before they flash, even if they dodge the animation, they're still going to be silenced. That is really annoying to deal with actually. A good silence can lead to an easy knock up or kills, especially in team fights. Silencing an entire team is pretty nasty. Your feast is a huge amount of burst and kill potential, plus it makes you really big and harder to kill. It's stupid really that someone can be so tanky and pretty much kill you with one rotation. For most mages, they can't push against you, they can't keep their way from the tower, most assassins can't kill you because of your burst and silence, even knock up. So while yeah, you kind of fall off late game a little bit if you can't hit your skill shots, you are an absolute monster early to mid game. So while we're on the topic of burst and tons of damage, we can look at our support Brand. Brand gets a ton of stick for kind of being a useless champion. He's very rarely played anymore, but packs an insane punch. I find this guy really hard to lane against actually as an AD carry because he outranges me, he has a stun, and he can probably 1v1 me sadly. The way you stop Brand and deal with him is to kill him, but how are you supposed to do that when if you go near him, he's going to stun you and run away? Deathfire has actually made him a lot stronger in my opinion. His poke is a lot harder to deal with now, and it synergizes pretty well with Rylai's Liandry's if the game ever goes that long. Basically, the point of picking Brand is similar to why you'd pick a Zyra. You have insane damage in lane, you want to get kills or deny the enemy AD farm, make them weaker while your AD gets stronger. Then mid game you go from this like long range stun machine to basically a second mid laner. We're going to build pretty much all damage here with our items. Our base damage is high anyway, which is why we can do a lot early without AP items, and when we combine everything together we have a ton of damage, a slow with Rylai's, a stun, an AoE ultimate, and it wouldn't be surprising if we top the damage charts even as a support. I want to talk about the lane dynamic a little bit. He can struggle against Soraka, I will just say that, and also against heavy engaged like Leona. Against Soraka you can actually do okay, you can beat her. She's like your ideal target kind of. Low health, if you stun you can burst and kill quickly. The problem is if you don't kill her though, don't focus her and she stays at the back, she's going to out heal all of your damage and that does suck. Against a Leona, or a Thresh or Alistair or whatever, if they engage onto you, then you're kind of boned, but at least that's kind of hard to do with your stun. So our jungler this patch is going to be Vi. There haven't really been any changes to her directly recently, but we've seen a lot of Devourer junglers slowly getting nerfed, as well as other carry ones as well. Even though it's not in the jungle, the top lane tank meta, like, you know, these tanks with damage and stuff, actually help her, because they're building tank, they can engage, and you can build more damage. Vi is a weird mix between carry and utility. She does a huge amount of damage, and if fed, she can easily 1v1 the enemy carries, right? But her ultimate is a utility spell with engage, so which is really a little bit odd. I know it's like you jump onto your target, right, where you can use your damage, but if you don't manage to kill them, then you're in the middle of the entire enemy team with not much defense or ways to survive. You often actually use your Q as well to kind of wind up into your ultimate to increase the range, which is a lot of your damage just wasted. So that's kind of my point really, I guess. Yes, we can fall back onto our ult as a good way to engage and help our team, but if we're going for the hard carry style, then we don't really want to be using our Q to go in or our ultimate long range. Vi has a really good clear speed. She stays pretty healthy with her shield and stuff. She has great ganks with her Vault Breaker, has great objectives with her W passive damage. All around, she's a very solid pick. Going warrior into Triforce seems to be the way to go at the moment. It provides so much damage, and while yeah, it does kind of make us really easy to kill, it doesn't matter too much because we kill people insanely fast. I think the playstyle that makes her kind of an underrated pick is more of a carry one, more damage heavy and kill everyone. Ideally, as we said earlier, we want to pair up with a tank top lane, which you know shouldn't be too hard because they're everywhere, and then they can engage with you following up. That is the best thing. So lastly, our top laner. This one took me the longest time to actually research. Someone you probably wouldn't expect, because I didn't expect this either until I really looked into it. I did a little bit more digging, and this guy is doing really well in Korea and North America, but for some reason not so hot in Europe, but I can't really see much reason why. Actually, I do have an idea. It seems to be mainly build related. Hecarim's win rate with a Triforce rush into Frozen Heart into Spirit Visage is insane. So the typical like Sunfire, Iceborne Gauntlet and Visage is actually pretty popular right now, but the win rate is pretty low. So it looks like that is just dragging everything else down. In 6.7 especially, we're seeing Poppy go down a bit and then weird tanks with damage come up. So there are kind of two things with this. So the first is Hecarim also fits this idea, gets a lot of damage, but is also relatively tanky and has good sustain to match the grasp. The second is almost every tank with damage is actually relying on those set of items to become strong, whereas Hecarim can bully early and actually keep up with them. Most of the time you'll see like an Echo or whatever not do too much damage early, but as soon as he starts to get items, he just takes over. The good thing is Hecarim can punish the early stages, plus then still do okay afterwards and keep up. He won't be completely boned like most. As a champion in general, he has a lot of damage, right? He has good sustain, but the biggest thing is definitely his cross-map impact. His TP ganks are insane. After 20 minutes, you have home guard, you TP somewhere and just charge into the fight, doing even more damage, fearing everyone and setting up the rest of your team. This is really what has to be the playstyle that makes him underrated. As a champion in general, kit-wise, he's okay, but his ability to set up fights, catch people and engage is really what leads to him having a roughly top 10 win rate in the top lane. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tweaked the justification more a little for this patch specifically, but remember to check out pro guides either on screen or down below. Like, subscribe, comment, share, but for now, let's go to the robots.